Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhan Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri vahlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli. Rabbena atina min ledunke rahmeten ve hayyi lena min emrina raşeda. Allahumme allimna ma yenfa'una ve enfa'na bima allamtena ve zidna ilma ve erinel hakka hakkan verzukna ittiba'ah ve erinel batile batilen verzukna ictinabe. La havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. Now, we are going to study about prayer, but be ready. You will hear strange things about prayer that you most probably you haven't heard of. Inshallah. Look, this man also lost train connections like me, most probably. He's coming from the same direction. Anyways, Bismillah. Now, this is the famous, it's a famous verse. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It is from section Furqan 25 and verse number 77 if somebody wants to search for her or his own interest. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. قُلْ مَا يَعْبَأُ بِكُمْ رَبِّي لَوْلَا دُعَاءُكُمْ. Say, you wouldn't even matter to my Lord if not for your prayers to him. That's the literal translation of it in English. This face value says, you have no importance at all. If it wasn't for your prayers, of course, we shouldn't limit our understanding of prayers to 5 times salah, but our supplications as well, verbal supplications or other kinds of prayers. Not only me, when the Quran says, bikum, I think I frequently refer to the subject, you wouldn't even. The Quran addresses you. Of course, primarily human beings. Very first addressee of the Quran is the Prophet himself. So some translation says you, bracket, the Prophet. Cannot be this way because definitely he is included, but first one, but the Quran speaks to all human beings, but not only to human beings, to everything in the universe. Oh, of course, if I say you wouldn't be surprised that Quran speaks to angels, the jinn especially, because Quran keeps saying that the human beings and jinn, you would say, oh yeah, I heard of it. But if the creator of the universe is speaking, he must be speaking to everything, but with the language of the human beings. So the first addressee is with us, but we have to bear in mind that the creator of the universe is speaking. So everything must be included in the addressee of the Quran. But do they understand what it means? The meaning, the message, communicate with the universe as well. For example, the Quran says that everything is declaring the absolute qualities of the Creator means really tasbih in Arabic, which is glorification. Of course, not only human beings glorify, everything glorifies their Creator. So we should be ready to understand the prayer includes the whole universe. How? Of course, primarily me, human beings. Okay. Now the first question, let's say when we say prayer, what do we understand from prayer? Anyone praying for what? No, of course, my mother is ill. I would say, yeah, I need my mother to be healed. So I say, please God, give her, heal her illness. That's what I did. Of course, we will see which kind of psychological things are going on behind it. We will go into details later on. But brother, let not distract his prayer. He's praying, isn't it? So he's there, performing his prayer included. Oh, okay, when you fast, do you pray as well? While fasting, not I am fasting and also I am praying. No, the fast is a prayer. Maybe, yeah? Prayer. So if you say, if only I had this as today, if only the best way, the quickest way I can get here, changing one train to another, follow. So up and down with an old man going up is not very easy and pleasant for me, but I had to. So alhamdulillah, Allah gave the opportunity to be here with you. So I was praying. How? We will see how prayer. Now we will go and ask the other several questions as well. So, for example, when an animal is hungry and really, really suffering from hunger, and when you look at the animal, you say, it appears to be, please give me some food. Praying with his appearance. Plants, there is no water. The land is dry. They are created in a position that they beg for water. Prayer. It is their prayer. We'll go into details there. And of course, primarily we must be interested in our prayers. That's what the question one is somehow covered. Or if you want to add anything else, question, anything? All right. Question two. Do we not have any value for God or in the eye of God if we don't pray to him? That's what the ayat literally says. If I don't have any value before God, if I don't pray to him, so can I say that any time I'm not praying, whatever prayer means in its general sense, as we generalize as an introduction to the subject, really, God says, I created this man in vain for nothing. Are we not praying? Or do we have, strange question, do you think that you have some times that you don't pray? Anyone? Really, what time? How dare you are worthless if you don't pray that time. But you are still given all existence, life, whatever you need. But it says you are worthless if you are not praying. All right? So say what time, or anybody, that when you think that you are not praying? Anyone?
When you're asleep.
Sorry?
When you're asleep, you're not praying.
When you are sleeping?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyone? No, more.
When you're at work.
At work?
At work, working.
You are not praying?
No.
No, I will say bracket, exclamation mark. Very dangerous area. We will see. We will see. I'm joking just to attract the attention. While you are working, we will come to the third question. But don't feel that I said, no, it's a big question with exclamation mark. Be careful, watch out, watch out. Of course, I'm attracting the attention of everyone, including myself, but not that I'm criticizing you. If you feel, no, I am a lady, very sensitive, so don't say anything, I wouldn't say anything. Yes, you are absolutely right. No, right. No, I cannot be hypocrite, you know. So this civilization says everything, you know. Excellent, excellent. Muawiyah is sleeping. Somebody agreed with you. Oh. Well, then you are not sleeping now, you are praying, all right. Okay. Anyone else would like to add anything to the subject? So, I believe even when you are sleeping, you are praying. Why be not very conscious of it? Sleeping is a special case. But working is you consciously work. So, question 3. Go away. Go, but I cannot get this one away, unfortunately. Now, 3. Even if I don't believe in God, doesn't he provide anything for me? Because the deniers don't pray God, do they?
No.
They don't. Really? Question mark. Suleiman, was it? Abdullah. How many times I called you Suleiman? In my mind, you know, when you learn raw, that's it. You cannot forget it. When you learn right, you forget. That's human weakness. Anyways, Abdullah, I'm sorry. You will see. So if non-believers are not praying, so they wouldn't have any value in the eyes, in the eye or eyes. We cannot talk about the number of God. But we see that they are getting from the mercy as much as, maybe sometimes in some cases, more than believers, physically. But the Quran says they don't have any value, but still seems to be. Of course, we have to make the distinction. As a creature in the world, is different from one's comprehension of his status in the world. The deniers, for example, when they are hungry, they eat. Why do they eat? They want to be satisfied. Yeah? And do you think this action for an unbeliever, unconscious prayer that he wants to get the result to be created? Although he may think that he is doing it, it's a wrong perception of it. In reality, he's praying the Creator to create him with satisfaction. But he's not realizing that he's praying God. He thinks that he's praying nature. Direction in his mind is different. Action-wise, he's doing this prayer action because he knows that he cannot by himself realize it. He has to eat, and afterwards everything will be taken care of to support or supplement the needs of the body in the way that the creator of the body takes care of it. They don't know. But he thinks it's a natural event. Now, his mind is not praying to God, but his action, your answer to your problem is, his action is praying. Got it difference? Because he is waiting to be created next moment. He cannot create it. But he thinks that it will automatically happen. How come? Yes?
I'm just like looking at the Arabic and my very, very basic understanding of the words. And from my understanding, the word dua in there is referring to the prayer. So
Dua, it means. Yeah.
So if that's correct, like I guess that's always taught to be at a basic level to mean literally supplication. So what I'm hearing from you is that actually it has a much wider definition. It's not just supplication, but that it is like all the actions that we do,
Verbal.
whether conscious or not conscious of it.
So,
Is that true? Is the Arabic word very widely defined?
So, for example, unconsciously though, our body breathes while we are sleeping. There was another comment. Are we in a state of prayer as long as we are following or acting in the line with the order of the universe? It's a good question. Do you see on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nadia. So, broader sense, you said, encompasses the whole universe.
What I'm asking is the word dua in Arabic, like, does it have a wider definition that I'm not aware of? Like, does it include supplication? Does it include other things other than supplication in the word dua?
So, the Quran reminds us that you take care of the direction of your prayer because you are already praying anyways. But take care of the real one who is worthy of prayer, consciousness. But I am doing the same action, an unbeliever next to me is doing the same action. We are eating together. He is satisfied. I am satisfied. The physical result is the same. But how about my spiritual result? I feel that I have a creator who is taking care of me, guaranteed. Right? He knows he is the owner of the universe. And he has done everything consciously, deliberately, wisely, everything, arranged everything for me. I am happy. He says, I am lucky. I had the food. There are some people, unlucky people, they couldn't get the chance to get it. So I'm lucky. Now. When? Now. Next time, another opportunity, I will wait. If I am lucky again, well, I don't know what it means. Lucky again, I will be eating again and benefiting from it. And at the end, I'll die and forever. Look, one of us is happy as far as all my needs are concerned, and eternally it will be satisfied by the one who created me and the universe. The other one is naturally happened to have this food as a result of luck or chance. Interesting, isn't it? Spiritually, the experience is different from, but physically everybody is doing the same thing. So the Quran is asking us, look, you always or already doing this, think about it seriously so that it will be worth living in this world. Prayer, yes.
Could I just, in terms of her question, because it's an interesting question, so I just want to check in. So she was asking about du'a'akum and understanding du'a as just a prayer to God. But du'a comes from the Arabic word of da'a, which means to call or request upon. Right? So would that then mean when we talk about sleeping, by doing the act of sleeping, I am asking or calling or requesting for sleep to rest my body. And so therefore that's the du'a'akum piece.
No, the dua is, we will study
that what you mean?
Yeah, we will study types of du'as, prayers, not only verbal. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you for clarifying.
So when you take the pill, isn't that a dua?
When I do what?
Yeah, when you need the medicine, for example, it is a physical dua. We will
You're
come to this.
requesting it, but not with words. You're
So
requesting it with
your action is asking, calling upon.
yeah. That makes sense.
Now, it's clarified, inshallah. So we will go here. Thank you, Nadia. I think we got this message, a beautiful message from our friend. So even if I don't believe in God, 3, I'm reading 3. Even if I don't believe in God, doesn't He provide anything for me? Yes, He does. It means I have some value in the eye of my Creator. So what is extra in the meaning of prayer? Now my question is coming behind. So does it include also our labor? Physical action? Yeah. For example, the child, alaykum salam, the child wants his or her mother to feed him. Mom, pulls her skirt or cries. Isn't it a prayer?
Yeah.
This action, for example, I am doing this. And this gentleman sees me, it's an old man, cannot lift this one. Can I help you? You say, yeah? Do you? Yeah. My is a prayer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Action-wise prayer. We have to get it wider. So, inshallah, that's the purpose of this class. Yes?
I have a question. You know, like how you were saying that sleeping is also a form of prayer. So I was just trying to like understand how is that like a form of prayer?
How?
Sleeping.
How is sleeping a form of prayer?
Now, while you are praying, yes, the sort of sleeping, while you are sleeping, somebody closes your nose. What happens?
You wake up.
Wake up and huh? It means you are not conscious of what you are doing, but prayer. Your body is praying. Or your metabolisms are working. Your brain is working. You sleep and dream, for example. Now it's a dream, a special case. Generally, our body is completely working. But I'm not conscious of it. Materialist people also not conscious that to what or to whom they are praying. But physically they are doing it. And the Quran comes, says, since you are working, since you are breathing, be conscious of it and see that I am breathing in order to ask the Creator next moment to keep my existence and my life. Got it?
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So that is what I said in the beginning. You will hear something strange. One of the, not many, there are more. One of the strange things that you might have not heard, that these are also counted as prayers, calling upon the Creator. The Quran says, call upon your Creator. Those people who don't listen or don't take notes of the Quran, they call upon nature or accident or happen to be. Right? Yes?
That would mean that not just you are calling and praying, but every single part of you is in prayer.
Individually.
Because they all
Yeah.
have needs that they're constantly calling out for. Your organs have prayer.
Now,
Your
cells are praying.
everything is praying.
Now, every element of your body or let's limit to the body. Body is praying. So when we go a bit further, later on, if not today, but inshallah next week and following week, if we continue, there will be different kinds of prayers that we need to really emphasize on the importance of these aspects as well in this class. So remind me, our cells are praying as well. My heart is praying, my lung is praying, I don't know, whatever these things are called here, whatever, I don't know the name. So everything is praying. It means with according to their capacity. Now, we understood, I think, the answer to this question. Does it include also our labor, how to pray with our, second question is, how do we pray? Oh, okay. Do we pray with our labor physically? We may not be conscious of that we are praying, but we are praying. But of course, we will study specific section. How about our human verbal supplications? Now, this question will be dealt almost towards the end. So this is after understanding what the nature of prayer is, then how about the nature of reality of our supplications, verbal supplications, in which case sometimes we really just say, Allahumma ihtina fi man hadayt. That's alhamdulillah, good prayer, that hadith narrations, alhamdulillah, good. But sometimes we say, if only, oh God, oh my God, give me this opportunity, something like that. All forms will be dealt with, inshallah, later on. Now, shall we move?
I have a question going back to the previous slide.
It's easy.
Um,
Here is we are.
so for the part where it says, even if I do not believe in God, does he not provide anything for me? Is it, well, two questions. Is it possible that he's providing for people who don't believe, not because of what they're doing, but because of who he is?
Somebody said, if I understood you correctly, somebody's, in the chat, in Zoom. Are we in a state of prayer as long as we are following or acting in the line with the order of the universe? I am conscious or not?
Not conscious.
Now, so if you don't obey God, it means God's way of creating. Now, this is a beautiful aspect of our life, but it needs a special attention. If I follow the way the things are created, clear? Now, if I follow it, what am I doing? I am following the will of the one who is creating it. According to you, it is the creator of the universe, God. According to materialist people, it is accidental happenings, random happenings developed disorder. But we will deal in the next ayah, inshallah. Excuse me.
Wouldn't, like actions like sleeping or like eating count as prayer because of the intention?
Now, intention gives the value to human side of us, spiritual side of us. But which intention? If your intention is you are really acting by obeying the order established by the creator of the universe, you are obeying the creator's will in your consciousness. But physically, you an unbeliever will be doing the same prayer, but your perception of it to God his or her perfection of it to nature or accident, random happenings, happen to be whatever they say.
So intention is to benefit us, not so much for God.
So in our spiritual world, in our physical world, if you don't obey, you are, let's give an extreme example. The prophet wants to get water from the table, not from the, that time there was wells, taking water from there. Give me water. I am a prophet, man. Come on. Why? He didn't obey the will of the Creator. Doesn't respond. Because we will study here. But, of course, it has two aspects. Physical side, spiritual perfection. It means consciousness. Yeah? Now, consciousness or physical side. Physical side, equal in this world. As you must have heard, coming from Muslim background, God's mercy is to everyone. That is Rahman. When it comes to Rahim, they say, which is true, but I would add something more if the subject was that this Rahman Rahim difference. He will give mercy, treat mercifully, especially the believers, which is true. But it needs more explanation. It is not subject now, our subject is now. So let's come here. As far as our physical actions are concerned in this world, God's mercy treats everybody equally as long as they obey the way the things are created. It means for a believer, God's will. For a non-believer, natural laws. This is the difference between believer and non-believer in this world. Yep.
I guess the way that I'm understanding it, like how I'm trying to make sense of it, is that Allah is saying in this verse that Allah made us in a way that we would matter to Him no matter what we did.
So I couldn't get the last one. Very quick. Well, I am an old man, and also I am an immigrant. This immigrant people, God, they invaded here and got our jobs. Yeah. Okay. So
I was saying that the way that I'm understanding this and how I'm making sense of it in my head is that Allah has made us in a way that we would be constantly supplicating and reaching out to Allah. And so Allah made us in a way that we would, by default, be mattering.
So we would
be unconsciously or consciously making dua all the time.
All the time.
So
Yeah.
therefore, Allah made us in a way that we matter to Him.
Yeah.
Just that, by default.
That is excellent. That is where revelation, it means God's guidance, is needed. Physical action, how am I going to make a table? Believers and non-believers are treated in the same way. Now, they have to work, I have to work as well. Now, the typical simple example, a believer farmer, a non-believer farmer. If equally, both of them assume that, equally obey the way the things are created, do they get the same crops? Yeah. That is Rahman. Treats everyone equally, and that is why we are left free in this world to choose the way to interpret our actions. Which way is it true? It is true. God's guidance says that only the one who can create your body, your brain cells, arranges it, creates it in such a way that it functions. Now, that is my creation. Materialist people don't listen to the message. They say it is natural laws developed in this way. How? It's theories. It might have happened this way. It might have happened this way. Lots of theories, but none of them has been. We have to be very careful. None of them has been proved so far. None of them, laboratory, how do you say it? Lab conditions demonstrated and proved. None of the claims of the theories has been proved. Although they say, look, but they appear to be. They appear to be. Because I look at, for example, with this gentleman, I think you've got the right to say something, eh?
It's okay. I'm waiting.
Okay, if you want, you are ready. You can. That's your right, reserved. Yeah. So, now, when I look at it, for example, look at somebody, or if you look at me, now I am speaking now. How can I speak now? The way that I am created. Otherwise, I cannot make myself speak. Yeah. Now, yes, your turn.
I was going to say, it sounds like it's impossible not to pray. That
No.
that it's mandatory. But the difference is between the believer and the non-believer is one is conscious of the fact that they're always in prayer, and the other one is clueless of the fact that they're always in prayer.
Yeah. So interesting the way the Quran speaks in an interesting way in this context. How those people can take the word, Quranic word is ibad. But it is translated as slaves. No, the one who are created with my own hand, God says. It means I directly created them with no interference and no helper coming and in between me and what I am doing. Directly, I'm manifesting my absolute qualities and creating it. How do they get my ibad as idols? It means source of the existence. It means creators. How do they know? They are my ibad. Quran says, and it is up to us to take it and think about it. All right? I think you wanted to say.
I wanted to ask, so with that last verse as well, is it because we are in constant need of God that we matter?
Isn't that absolutely true? How can you exist even one fraction of second if you are not given existence? For example, my typical example is this. Can you give existence to let me take this one down, then you will take it up. Can you keep your existence next moment? What does it mean? You see, we are in constant prayer in our existence. So try to preserve yourself from death or it means my very existence is a prayer. That's what we have to understand. But as maybe how many times I repeated today, as I see it as the creator of the universe is creating me, or another person says, it is open to questioning. Another person says, accidentally, natural laws happen to be in this way, developed. Something is exploded and everything became into a perfect order universe-wide. Communicating with each other, supporting each other, all those contradictory natures happen to be. I mean, I'm not stupid, sorry. I'm not going to buy into it. So, some people do. Okay, the people are created free. But we have to watch out anymore. So let's go this one, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A'udhu billahi minesh-shaytanir-rajim. Lahu da'watul haqq wal-ladhina yad'una min dunihi la yastajibuna lahum bi shay'in illa kabasitu kaffayhi ila al-ma'i liyablugha fahu. وما هو ببالغه وما دعاء الكافرين إلا في ضلال. Perfect. Solves the problem of, or the matrix of the universe. Simple. Quranic explanation, so smooth, simple, straightforward. Look, but we have to understand, we have to have a right understanding of prayer in order to understand this verse. That's what the first verse, we spent quite a time. What? Is this clock not telling the lie? Sure?
Yes. It's
Not
accurate.
telling.
Nope.
Yeah, it's 7.
It is not a human being, I think.
No.
It doesn't tell. Creation doesn't tell a lie. The order of the creation doesn't tell a lie. So I can, but the earth doesn't tell a lie. Okay. But we have to have a right understanding of prayer, and we had some sort of basic understanding of prayer now, very basic. We will go into details, inshallah. The translation. The only true prayer is to Him, the owner of the universe. That is why the message, revelation, is teaching me. That is, are you aware that you are praying to the creator of the universe? Not a piece of the universe, not or something magically being in the nature of the universe, whatever it is. That's what they call it, natural laws. But the way the things are created orderly, wisely, purposefully, they call this orderly creation as, because orderly creation means you do certain principles. And they call it, these principles are creating. What a crazy. As if judge is judging somebody, and it is according to what? According to law. Now, law is there, and the person goes in prison, let's say, because judge decided that it must go to prison, right? Now, he says, the book, law, there, put me in prison. But if there was no court system, there was no judge, and this was no hearing or whatever you call it, somebody accuses him, the other one defends, etc. And then if there was no police force to take him, if there was no prison institution, etc., physical actions, do you think the law written in the book will put him in prison? What are they talking about? This is the way the things are working. Principles, and somebody wrote it. That's how I am created, as if. So this is called codes in the creation. It means principles of creation. Creation. So the only true prayer is to Him. Why He says, okay, that is my option to you. Think about it. Those they pray to besides Him, besides Him, give them no answer any more than water reach the mouth of someone. Now the water is running here, just here. Right? I am dying of thirst. Now, and those they pray to besides Him, it means not God consciously, but something else, whatever it is. apart from the creator of the universe, being conscious of it. Now, give them no answer. What I am saying, look, I cannot move myself. I am tied up. Water, come. Does it come? But let's say 14 billion years passed and accidentally water came. Accidentally doesn't come.
No.
I don't know what this theory is. So, but we will say, we will discuss this matter in details. Now, no answer any more than water reached the mouth of someone who simply stretches out his hands for it. It cannot do this. The prayers of the disbelievers are all in vain. Now, Quran speaks in two ways now. Prayer of the disbelievers are all in vain. It means not the person, I shouldn't point out you. So the person here not believing, who's called disbeliever, but the idea of disbelief are all in vain. So ideally, what you understand physically. Now, my first question, I think we started some 17 minutes something, I noticed, or 20 minutes? More than? 20 minutes.
15 minutes late, yeah.
So let's do as much as we can, and 20 past, promise we should stop. Remind me, somebody. So if one of the brothers reminds me, but a lady, yes. So come from here. Yeah. So question is this, to clarify the content of this beautiful verse. When a believer does the same thing, water is coming, two people are in the same position. And I'm dying and I say, please come, doesn't come. I am a believer. And a non-believer is there doing the same thing. None of them is answered physically. Why? We are not praying. That is why. And we will study it. When a believer does the same thing, will the water come to him? Answer is already given. No. Yeah? Sure? Do you think in these conditions of this world, believers will be favored in terms of the way the things are created? Yes? Anyone else? Yes? Somebody says no.
I say no.
My dear friend, I'm sorry. Someone says no. For example, I am a believer. Water is coming here. I was given 1 billion years of life. I am saying, please water come, please water come. Does it come? I am a believer.
It depends. If it's meant for you, it'll happen. If it's not.
Sorry?
It depends. If it's meant for you and God said it's good for you, it will happen. If God said it's not good for you, it won't happen.
So God will say, I will take in this way your word. God will say, unless you obey my will, the way to create. Now, be careful, my sister. So be careful. I'm not accusing anyone here. Just attention. God creates and says, I'm not going to change the order of my creation. So, I am a believer, so change your way of creating. Only exception is only when the prophets are in a special position, that's it. And God's will, not prophets' will. No. Still, the miracles are created by God, not the prophets are creating it as they want.
Right.
So we know this, because so many times the prophets are asked, we are God, and then only if God wills, he creates it.
Yeah.
still depends on God's will, not the prophet's will. But prophet is needy as a prophet, not as Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam or Jesus. But as a prophet, he needs favor to attract the people's attention. That's why Allah creates miracles for the sake of the poor people, that they don't know what this man is saying around him. Do you understand the very brief understanding of miracles? Yes?
I just want to make sure I understand. So if you pray for something, if it's not in God's order of the universe, the way he made the universe, then it, no matter how much you pray for it, it won't happen.
Yes. True.
I know we can change the story.
Excuse me? No, I agree with you. We will go into details this topic.
So that's what you were trying to say? You're saying that's a yes?
Which one?
Yes.
So which one? I confused.
I just want to know that what I said is what you were explaining to her. Just to
Yes,
clarify.
yes.
Okay.
That's what I understood. So what yours?
I was just saying, like, but isn't there like, can't we like change the story?
I can. Allah
Not
can
the
change.
story, but like, there are multiple ways that things can go. Like,
No. God,
Talking about fate.
sorry,
She's talking about fate.
faith?
Fate.
Qadar.
Qadar.
In your-
No.
yeah, like if you make du'as, like there's a way that things should go.
To the public,
Yeah,
no personal. Yeah.
yeah. There's a way that things can go, right? But in your du'as, you can change, like, not change it, but like the more you make, the more you make like du'a, sometimes.
So give me guidance, for example. Guide me to the right way.
Right.
Now, when you pray verbally and mentally, intellectually, or in your intellect is aware that you are expressing your need. So when you express your need, then spiritually you open yourself, because you are not obstinate anymore. When you open yourself spiritually, then as if setting the clock, alarm clock. For example, I notice in my life, when I set the alarm clock, I wake up, even the alarm clock doesn't work. You know why? Because this action of setting the alarm clock, that's the psychology of prayer, verbal. Now, this action of doing this is a reminder for you. So when your mind is conditioned there now through action, right? That is how we are created. So as a result, you wake up. Even the alarm clock doesn't ring, or before it rings, because you are alarmed. For example, you bought a ticket to somewhere which cost you $10,000. And this is the ticket, you have to wake up at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. You never woke up in your maybe last 1-2 years of life. You are not accustomed. At 2 o'clock, your mind is so much alarmed. I shouldn't miss. You wake up. How many times before 2 o'clock? Oh, it's 1 o'clock, just like, but waiting for another hour, just spring out your bed. That is physical action, prayer, expressing yourself. Your spiritual situation became active. That is how we are created. So when you say, I need guidance, please God, please, what does it mean? Physically also, I am expressing myself to the creator of the order of this universe, and he created your body. This body starts functioning now to find the right answer, rather than being ignorant, rather than being negligent. You are looking for it, you are alarmed. As soon as you see a sign, you catch it. You cause alarm. So in verbal prayers, consciously done. But by the way, I'm sorry to tell this, if a prayer is not consciously done, for example, I don't know, Elhamdülillah Rabbil Alemin Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin, my mind is everywhere. This is not a prayer. So, my sister or sister, I don't like this word, but okay. Please go ahead, my friend. All right.
I cannot check the other day explaining that.
You listen carefully.
And he said, you ask can change destiny. But he said you need to ask it with the right order of way. Like if you accept the du'as that the prophets made, you realize that when they pray, they do it in a certain way that we're never breaking the order of the universe. And the Sheikh will give an example. You go to Allah in your prayers, you go sujood, and you make a dua and say, Allah, give me $100. But then next day, you park your car wrong and you get $100 ticket. And he said, your dua was actually answered, just in a negative way. Because the way you expressed your dua wasn't according to the rules of the universe. So if you go and you study all the prophets, like I don't know, King or Isaac or Jesus or Muhammad, you actually see that always when they pray in a universal order. Like example, Muhammad always have a prayer that my dad teach me that is like, when I need something, I told Allah, I am in desperate need of everything you have in the hands for me.
Inshallah.
And always I pray that the consciousness that Allah will provide for me. I don't have to say what I need. He just provided immediately.
I'm sorry, we are hurrying in the time. Can you summarize it, if you got it? Summarize, but you don't have much time.
She's talking about fate again and the ability to make dua in a way to change destiny, but that the way you make dua has to be very specific. And if you don't make dua the correct way, that it could instead negatively harm you because you didn't make dua the correct way.
Like to me, I understood it as like having like a
sorry.
So I'm saying I understand what I understood.
So okay, continue here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying that what I understood is like dua also has like a natural law that it
must be accompanied.
To be
felt. So when we perform the prayer consciously, we will study whether it is guaranteed or not to be accepted. Now, we will study a special verse, interesting verse from the Quran to deal this subject particularly. Inshallah, for the next week. Now, I think we have to stop here. It is 17 past. When a believer does the same thing, will the water come to him? Answer is no. Why? A believer says, I believe in the creator of the universe, and not really obeying the way the creator's will is operating. It means I am a believer, but I am disobeying the believer by not following the order of the universe. Did you get the result? I am a believer, nominally, yes, correct. But in that particular moment, I am not obeying the will of the Creator at that particular moment. And I'm saying that, please God, I pray. You don't pray. Why? Physical prayer must be aligned with the order the things are created. Right? Even the prophets cannot create miracles. How can I expect God to create miracles because I did something, said something? Yes, my sister, but we have to stop here because I'm not going to into the question 2 because of the lack of time. Short, precise, inshallah. So watch out. I don't really hear you from there. I am an old man. Yeah.
At that moment of time, are you considered a hypocrite because you say you are a believer and then you're not like kind of taking into the idea of like the order of the law, I think. So maybe not in all terms that you are a hypocrite, but at that moment, are you titled as in that?
Okay, please.
Are
Steve,
you
I heard some voice for me, not because you are not speaking nicely or articulately.
are you considered a hypocrite
Hmm.
for not obeying the way in which the universe is created?
Hypocrite?
At that moment, are you considered a hypocrite? 'Cause you're saying
Oh,
that
no,
means that
no,
you're
no,
not
no.
actually following the law.
It is hypocrisy is another subject. Negligence, not aware, being aware, unaware of what this person is doing. I mean, in the language of the Quran, jahala. At that moment, like we cannot label the person you are jahil, you are some, or it means ignorant, ignorant. No. But we can say this person is contradicting himself. He says, I believe in God, but doesn't obey God at that moment. That is the point we have to get from question number 1. And question number 2,
Someone messaged.
I was going to make a joke with you. We are not come here, Muawiyah. Can you make prayers against God's order? For example, asking for water in the desert where it doesn't rain. Depends on when it doesn't rain. Yeah. Like hoping for a miracle. Now we will deal with this question not this week, next week. It is in the list, Muawiyah, don't worry about it. And question 2 to be continued next week. Good news for you. And then for everyone, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen bi hurmati sirri surat al-Fatiha. So we are going to study the verse Rad 13, section Rad. Yeah. Verse number 14. So those people, be careful when you read the translations and just comments on this one. They may not be aware of what we are talking here. Because, I don't know, have you studied that and have you heard this kind of prayer? This is something strange. Inshallah, we are not really taking Quran seriously. Thus we have to accept that. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin bi hurmati sirri surat al-Fatiha.